You are always ready. You are correct, sir. You are always ready.
Because I'm never ready, which means I'm always ready.
Welcome everyone to the 119th edition of the Home Theater Hub. We're going to be short, probably one co-host, maybe even Abe. I haven't heard from Abe today, so I don't know if he's going to be joining us or not.
Yeah, he might be putting in some stereo in some exotic country or
Barbados
or yeah, exactly.
I'm still waiting on him to tell me when he's coming to Miami because I want to check out this Lindorf system that he's putting in down here.
Yeah.
So
you'll know what upgrades you'll need.
Exactly. if I need upgrades. Maybe I might not.
Funniest thing you said all year so far.
Dude, I am so
it's not if you need, it's if you want.
So I don't know if you've been following Michael or not for Youth Man, right? He's unfortunately I guess they're shutting down Obsessed Home Theater.
Yeah, he's changing directions. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he's still going to be a dealer, right? So he posted that he's got 4 RS2s.
Yeah.
Which are the JT, the JTR 18-inch dual 18-inch woofers, the RS2s. And he posted that he's got 5 of them.
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to be getting a bonus check on Monday or Tuesday.
Oh boy.
And I am so tempted to drive my truck and trailer up there.
You should do that and then just sell like the monoliths and stuff and recoup a little bit.
Yeah. No, I would sell the monoliths and the rails and just have 8 18s in the room.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That would be a
look at Chuck. Here we go. I got a one up Chuck. Chuck's got the 4 RS1s. I got to go with the 4 RS2s.
Yeah. Keeping up with the Joneses is nothing compared to keeping up with the Chucks.
For sure.
It's like, I got a long ways to go.
The bad part about it is I don't think I need any more bass, though. I mean, I believe it or not, I don't think I need any more bass. I mean, everybody that comes over here says they get great tactile. I got plenty of bass in the room. The rels are probably turned up on the gain on the back of the speaker. Maybe, if this were 50%, they're probably, somewhere in here. You know what I mean? So they're maybe just a little bit past a quarter.
Yeah,
so
3 o'clock range.
Yeah. So I mean, it's if, like I said, if this is 50%, they're not even turned up. Neither are the monolith. The 215s either. Yeah. And I'm telling you, I get a ton of bass.
Okay,
and it's tight bass too. It's not.
Yeah, you could reduce half your subwoofers, and you would have enough bass.
Probably so.
Definitely, not probably so. The math is there. But if you want to go beyond, or you want to do what people are showing off that gets people going,
Yeah, I don't.
There's the thing, and that's what you got to decide. Do you want so much that, hey, I can turn it and scare the crap out of someone when the bass hits for the first time? Or do I just want extremely impressive? Like, oh, wow, this is amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we'll talk about scare the crap out of someone and bass in a little bit because I watched a movie.
Oh.
And it was fucking good. It was good.
Was it scary?
It was a scary movie, yeah.
Okay, is it a newer one?
No, it's not. It's not newer. It's older. It was
okay.
It was rated as one of the scariest movies, but it didn't get a great IMDb rating. But I think it was good. It's definitely worth the watch.
There was one that Films at Home said that was like the scariest that he's watched in a good way in like a really long time. And I forget his channel name now. I'm sorry, because I'm horrible with names. Films at Home.
Films at Home. I know him. With the guy with the beard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget his channel name, but
That's his name. Films at Home.
no, he changed it.
Oh, he changed
Now
it.
it's his name. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. He's changed it a long time ago. Yeah.
See,
So
that's
forgot what it's called now. But
let me try to look it up and see if it just
Miguel. Gosh damn it! What's the guy's name now? He remembers everything. Yeah, he's good with names. Films at Home guy. What's his channel name now? Anyway, type in the chat.
Jeff Razio.
Yeah, Jeff Razio. Yeah. So that's his channel name now.
Okay. Well, I'm glad he changed it because he's getting the recognition he needs.
So
141 subs. Damn, he's doing well.
Yeah. He's
So,
legit, man.
I like his content too. I'm with you, for sure.
Yeah. And I didn't know if it was that one because he had posted something about a super scary movie, which I don't watch scary movies, but he said this one scared the crap out of him in a way that is like
not that he needs any more publicity. But
yeah, right.
Anyway, this is his channel. If you happen to,
not that he'll notice every one of our subscribers joining at once. He would be like,
for sure.
What? It didn't even blip on my radar.
Oh, look, he's got a Bravia review. Look at that. He's branching out now.
Yeah, like he's legit. Like he does research. He actually, I forgot what movie it is, but he is credited for a write-up on a movie and in the movie cover sleeve here recently, like within the last year. So it's really cool. He's really into it, So
maybe the movie was Cabin Fever that he was talking about because that's his last video was a month ago though, so that's odd.
He does a lot of shorts though, and that's what's more popular.
Oh, okay.
Believe it or not, nowadays, yeah, like a lot.
The most dynamic movie I've ever seen. Okay.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Yeah, that's the one. So, and I
have to check that out.
Yeah. He was like, "Oh man, this is the scariest movie in a good way in the longest time." Like, anyways, I'm not into it. Sounds like you should watch that one,
dude. I mean, the one that I'm going to talk about is pretty damn good. So, yeah, it's an older movie, but what year is it from? I'll tease it a little bit. It is from 2012. So it was in DTS Master Audio, but I upmixed it
to
9.6, 9.1.6.
Oh, okay.
So,
I see what you're saying. DTS to XD or whatever they're called.
Yep. What's going on, Bill? You're welcome to join in, sir. You got the same link. It's the same exact link as last time. Speaking of Bill, I'll go ahead and share this now. Sorry, guys. My camera's like, when you see me squinch down like this, it's because my camera's right in front of the share screen button. So it's tough for me.
I just thought maybe you were trying to squeeze one out. Hold on, I'm bleeding. Yeah, all right, I got it.
So last Friday, Bill had a get together.
Nice.
This is for Obsessed. I guess it's now going to be called the Community AV or whatever that Michael was doing, Obsessed Community. But we have the South Florida Facebook, group here, and this is the second iteration of a get together for South Florida. So we were able to go over to Bill's house. Bill is the gentleman here in the middle, and we were able to check out his Mag Theatron home theater that he's got, and I believe he's got the AVM 70 for his processor, and he's got Mag Theatron amps all throughout. And he had the new Arvolution over there, so we were able to check that out. We were trying to play with it, and we were trying to figure out what was going on. When we were on the show the other day, we were trying to figure out why we couldn't see Dolby Vision and stuff like that. And apparently, he sent me a chat earlier this week saying he was able to get that fixed with the help of Raphael from Let's Get Physical and over in
Gotcha.
Europe. So he was able to get that fixed, but had a fantastic time with these guys over there for the second iteration. This gentleman right here, he's got an all clips set up, and they went to his house a
Which
couple
oh,
weeks back.
I'm
The
not
guy in
seeing a
the
mouse or anything.
guy in the red. Sorry,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
the guy in the red.
Cool.
They went. Bill, and maybe one of the other guys went over to his house. So the guy in the red here, they went over to his house last week, and I mean the guy's pretty serious too. He brought his laptop and measurement microphone and everything over to Bill's house. He's like, I'm gonna take some measurements.
Oh man. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's definitely putting in.
And if you're bringing it over to someone else's house, you're just measuring their preference.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yes.
Not that, you could make the argument, flat is,
Yeah. So this guy here is Cecil. And then we had Bruce there also, which is this guy here, and Kevin is this guy in the blue, and that's Bill and myself over there. So yeah, and this is Kaza right here, the guy in the red. But yeah, no, shout out to them if they're listening. Some of them were subscribers already. Gonna try to get some of these guys on the show to do some theater tours here in Florida, and who knows, maybe it can be a in person, show. So, and you can see here, this is when this was the week previous at Kaz's house. So he had the clip speakers there, and he was showing me pictures of this cloud absorption panel that he made. It was really, really cool. So he did like a double frame on that thing. Man, it turned out fantastic.
Oh, a double. What do you mean by like a?
So like he made a frame and wrapped it, and then wrapped it again with this like walnut frame on the outside, so it looks seamless. I don't know if I can.
Oh, gotcha.
See if I can zoom in on that. So maybe when we get him on the show, he can show pictures of that. But yeah, it's really cool how it looks like super seamless. It's just not like a panel hanging up there on his ceiling, and it was and then he's got some other stuff going on behind his couch, because this is like a living room setup. He's got some other stuff going on behind the couch. He put one of those like, I don't know what you call them, like the little buffet tables that you put behind couches, you know what I'm talking about?
Couch. Yeah, couch.
Yeah, so he put that behind his couch just because he wanted some depth back there, and then he stuffed it, the underside of that all full of rock soul, and then and then backed his couch back up to it to give some extra absorption in there for his subwoofers. So he's subwoofer shopping right now. So, but yeah, man, it was definitely a great time, with the obsessed community, or I guess it's going to be called Community AV, or whatever it's going to transition to. But it was great to have some like-minded people, talking about home theater and stuff like that. So
yeah, it's always fun hanging out.
Oh, there's Bill. What's up, Bill? How are you, sir?
Hi, boys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do your place next, aren't we?
Yeah, we will. We can do that. I want to do it before I, put any treatments and stuff in there, so I can let people hear how it sounds.
Yeah.
Currently, and then once it come back, I'll come back with the treatments and have it. We'll do it all over again to see how much improvement people think.
Yeah, that would be really cool. It'd be nice to hear that transition.
Yeah, for sure.
You pretty much described the whole experience perfectly. Yeah, Saba, that guy is a very active guy in the forums. In case you haven't noticed, he's really on the home theater enthusiasts pages and all that stuff. He's that was really funny to throw me for a loop, bringing this stuff into. I want to calibrate some stuff. Wait a minute, I can't even find my HDMI input here. I wasn't ready for this. But But yeah, he did discover that my subwoofers are running about 10 dB too high. Shoot.
Well, that's your normal house curve, right?
I think so. I mean, a lot of that is the room. I think a lot of that is that soffit that's above the chairs. That that holds where the garage door was, and that we loaded that with insulation. But I think it's really got a nice impact around 150, 200 that really fills that in.
We were definitely we didn't have the official dB meter in there, but Saba was using his phone, to try to measure out,
115 or something like that.
Yeah. So it was.
Those are accurate up to that level.
Yeah, but you noticed how clean it was, even at that volume. I mean,
no, for sure. And look, as I said when I was there, I think you could have threw another 100 watts at those speakers and they wouldn't have blinked. You know what I mean?
But you don't even need it. You don't want
exactly.
Right. I know I was very happy with that. That's why. And then it was nice to hear your system and mine in such a short amount of time, so you still have the reference in your head. And like I said, there's two different experiences going on. Neither one is better or worse. I mean, yours is obviously bigger and more immersive, just because by default, because of the size of it and all the extra speakers. But man, it's just it's really cool. I think that's what's great about this community idea, is that everybody gets to validate what they have. You have the system and you hear somebody else's and you go, oh, now I know what mine really sounds like.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, it's great to get out and hear different stuff. And not only that, but like I was just telling, I don't know if you heard me at the beginning of the podcast here, but I'm like, okay, Michael's got these 4 RS2s, JTR RS2s available.
Yeah.
And I got money burning in my pocket because I'm getting a bonus from work. And I'm like, should I swap them out? But do I really need that upgrade? Do I really need more bass?
It's not a matter of need, it's a matter of what.
Well, no, I mean, no, that can't hurt you, obviously.
Oh,
you can't hear me talk you out of that.
Too late. You can't swap.
Oh, he sold 4 of the 5. Oh man.
Well, that answers that question.
Any minute now. So it looks like we got a solid offer on our house.
Way
quicker than we thought, like what we were asking and everything. And the best part is the buyer's looking for to close ASAP.
Wow. So
it couldn't be a better situation. And so pretty soon I have a road trip coming up to Texas. I'm going to go to Houston and go see Haterade, Cowboy, whatever, Jordan, and pick up that 21.
The Mag Theatron?
Yeah, and at least for a day or two. We'll see how long I have. I'm going to get back to Florida. I'm going to throw that in the back of the room where the Pro Tools workstation is right now, because that'll be all torn down, because that's going into storage first. And I'm going to pop that thing in that back wall, back behind the seats, and run the 3200 watt TDC 32 into that, because I still have that amp. And I'm just going to do that for a day or two and just get an idea, man, because I just think if I had a subwoofer or a pair of subwoofers in the back of the room, I'd probably be right up there with your room.
For sure. Well, I mean, your room, I mean, SPL wise, those Mag Theatrons definitely are louder than what my speakers are. I don't know I forgot what the sensitivity on those, but my Martin Logans are only right around, I think 88, 89 on the sensitivity.
These are definitely in the 90s.
In the 90s, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The SPL on those.
I wouldn't be surprised.
125.
Youth man, I'm happy to hear that you sold those.
Huh?
Youth man said he sold 4 of the 5. Thanks for being in the chat, Youth man. Appreciate you, man. No, I'm very, very glad to hear that you sold those. So now I can keep my money in my
You just
pocket
saved him a boatload of money.
Oh, okay. All right.
He doesn't want to just buy
one.
one.
Jump on with us.
He wanted to buy
get an update on
I wanted to buy 4, and I was looking for a discount too. So just to let you know.
I was really bummed that he sold those 3 chairs. They were the perfect ones.
Yeah, those Barcelona chairs.
I want those more than anything. I want a chair that goes below your shoulder like that, so you can do surround music. that's an audiophile's dream.
Dude, if you reach out to Valencia,
I will.
I guarantee you they'll send you one, and maybe you might have to pay for two. But
Oh, that'd be great. And I'll do a review on them and stuff.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. Let them know you gotta.
So to touch upon the Arvolution thing real quick, not to take up too much of the show. I don't know if you guys got into your "What have you guys watched lately" segment.
No, not yet, not yet.
Because I want to participate in that too, because I got a good contribution. What was I gonna say? So after I talked to you guys, I really dug in. I ended up on the phone with Google. Amazing, because they actually had a real person get on the phone with me, this woman, and she was excellent, and she knew exactly what I was going through, and so told me about a couple of the Dolby Vision settings on the thing. And so when those were exhausted, and I told her, oh no, I did try that, thank you, and then the other things, then I said, okay, now I got to call Raphael. So I said, listen, before I do any review on this thing, I want to make sure it is playing Netflix with Dolby Vision, because that was the big brag from the Europeans that were using it. And he goes, oh, here you go. And it was right there on the website's help desk, whatever, that I didn't bother to check, which is all I would have needed to do was read this thing. And there's all you set the resolution for the output in the. So when you're on the, forgive me, I'm away from my studio. I had a little bit of a liquid lunch tonight with a client friend of mine.
Hey, that's great.
So catching up with you guys from my condo. So I'm not in front of my gear, so I can't look at stuff right now. But basically what it was you have to set the resolution in the, so you know when you're on the Arvolution menu and you get to settings, and then you can go to device, and you can actually go into the guts of the settings of the device. You have to set that resolution to 59.94, 60, or not 60 hertz, but 59.994. And as long as you do that, then it tells Netflix that it has the right codec for it, and boom, you pull up War Machine, there it was. It says, instead of saying Dolby Atmos like it did when we tried, it said Dolby Vision / Atmos right away.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. And not only that, but when that happened, all of my navigation going back and forth through the player just was all smooth, because I guess it was trying to get that to work in the background before, and it was making things sticky, you know? And so now I can't really show that on my, I still have your capture card. I was trying to record segments of doing that, but once I get into Netflix, it won't let me show anything. I can't even go to the Netflix main page. We were able to go to the Netflix main page that night, but now.
Yeah, but the easy way to do that, Bill, is just be off camera and shoot your camera at it, right?
Yeah, you
shoot
just
your camera right at the TV.
Yeah.
You have to lock your exposure. Don't do auto exposure when
you're. Are you muted, Paul?
Oh, am I?
No, Paul's not muted.
Oh.
I couldn't hear him. It looked like he was talking, but I couldn't.
Yeah, he was.
Oh.
So he said just so you know, Bill, what he said was you have to lock your exposure. Don't do auto exposure when you're on your camera, because you'll get the flicker. You know,
and it'll change.
No, I do that and do it from an angle too.
Right. Yeah.
But I will do that. Plus, I'll just explain how great it is. But so what I did was, and that ties into my viewing thing, I ended up watching War Machine yesterday on Netflix to make sure the player did the whole thing. And my God, what a movie! Did you see it?
Yeah, we can go right into that segment, because let's see here.
Man, I'm telling you, and guys, I mean, again, when something like that works so smooth, it might be psychological at some point, but you want to make, like, I was watching it going, this is outstanding. My Sony TV went right to Dolby Vision Bright. I ended up changing it to Dolby Vision Dark, which was perfect. And then it was as good, is as good as a Blu-ray. And felt like I hit single digits a couple of times with the stomping on the ground on a stream. And I was like, that's pretty damn impressive. It was great. And a worthwhile movie watching. It's such a, it's such
the movie was good. I would say I didn't
blockbuster type movie.
Yeah, I would say I didn't care for the ending too much of how.
I lost you now. I can't hear you. Why is that?
You can't hear me either?
What's going on?
Big Jack saying he's seen that problem whenever he joins from the iPhone. That's weird. I don't know why that would be.
On the iPad, yeah, somehow.
Yeah.
When it changes to a different person, I lose audio. I think it looks like I could fix it just by hitting my volume button once.
Oh, cool.
How about now?
Yeah, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's solved. And here's the coolest part. I wish I could show this to you, but it's better off because I will complete this long promised video that I've been meaning to do on this thing by this weekend for sure. Once you get in and you go to Aptoid TV, remember I was telling you about every time you went into the Android TV, it would say, Android is starting up and you had to wait 30 seconds, which was a drag. That's not happening anymore because if you skip the Android TV main page and go right to Netflix, I actually save that shortcut and it goes to the main menu of the Arvolution. So you turn it on and you've got the video, the little reel there, Setup, Explorer, Netflix, HBO Max, ESPN, all right there on the same screen. So it's one extra shortcut step that you can make. It's a customization basically that I did. So now you don't have to even go into the app section. You've got the shortcut for HBO Max right there next to our video. Which is great. And that's the whole idea of this thing working. So far Netflix, I'm going to test HBO Max. I told you I watched hockey on ESPN. Very impressive, very smooth, very analog looking. Not the greatest picture you've ever seen, but definitely good enough. And the trade-off is for the way it performs makes up for the glitz of a better picture.
See, I have to disagree with you there. With
there he goes again.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Oh fuck! No, I don't. This is weird. Let me see what's going on.
So
with this thing.
Anyway, I'd have to disagree. I'm
Audio
going to send you
settings I can change. Oh.
I wonder if it's something to do with auto echo cancellation and something.
Oh, so he dropped out. But anyway, Bill's got like a 98-inch Sony TV or whatever that hangs on the wall, right? And he put on the ESPN app, and he played hockey, right? So obviously the big white rink just glows like crazy, right? It looked fantastic. But what impressed me the most when watching hockey was if you look at the glass.
Yeah.
So the players were skating on the ring, right? You can see them. Mm-hmm. But if you looked at the glass behind that, you can see perfectly their reflections on the glass, almost like ray tracing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I couldn't believe how good it looked. It was.
It's always occurred to me every time I watch a hockey game how much of a challenge it is for any display or projector, for that matter, to do it because of the amount of white that's on the screen constantly. It's a total task the whole time. And I worked for the Florida Panthers. I was their public address announcer for 16 years. I've watched thousands of hockey games in person and on TV in every form you could, 4K, regular. And that is the thing I noticed. The biggest thing about this was that once hockey got to 4K, it wasn't until just the other day I saw that I was watching a game. And so the skates there's a boot, and then most of it's a white plastic housing, and then the last half inch is the actual blade that's on there. And you can totally make that out now. I was watching it the other night going, I am actually looking at, and it's shiny like it's supposed to be. That's how far we've gotten now. And the fact, so it's like that in 4K. And how I'm trying to explain this is that you could always see that, but the amount of movement would always stagger the picture enough to where you don't see that like stable. Now, when you see it stable like this, you're like, holy crap, I can watch this guy's right skate the whole way down the ice. It's amazing. So
I was
better than being in person. You almost can't see that in person.
I was super impressed with the details in the background, not just the players skating around and the fact that you got a giant piece of white ice shining off the screen, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, just the details that that app and streaming through the ESPN app that you were getting, it was almost like watching a game with ray tracing, to where you can see the
Yeah.
shadows literally right on the glass as everybody was moving. You can even make out faces off the glass and everything else. It was really, really, really good. I don't know if that is the player enhancing that. I'm gonna have to try it on Apple TV because I have Apple TV. I wanna try. I have the ESPN app also, so I want to try it myself and take a look at it too to see if it could be the player enhancing and doing all that, which would be even better for our evolution, right?
Yeah,
So-
now, this is a fascinating thing. And then I don't know, I've never shared this story before, but I was at 2024 CEDIA, and Sony had a lot going on in that show. They had a big room where you go in the back room. They had like 15 TVs. Were you there at 24 CEDIA?
No, not at Cedia. No.
Yeah. So they had this room on the side, and there was a row of tables on one side and the other side. Every Sony was in there. And actually, they had a lot of other brands in there too, side by side with Sony's to show comparisons. Very interesting. And all the 5 like main guys from Sony were there. One of them lived in New York, is an Asian guy. I think his name is Joe, and you guys might know him, but he's one of the main Sony guys, like the engineers for that matter. And he's a big New York Rangers fan. So that's how we started talking, and we were talking about hockey. And he told me that Sony uses hockey footage and a lot in testing their panels. When they were talking about, this is how I got this whole thing about white. He goes, nothing has more white in it constantly for over a long period of time like that. It's a challenge for TV. And then I had the mini LED, the X95L. He was explaining to me it has like 400 dimming zones or something.
Mm-hmm.
And to carry that much white and have the little nuances in the white, hockey was the best thing for them to test it with. So he goes, they would watch old Ranger games or new ones and get 4K masters and stuff and test that. It was fascinating stuff, and it makes all the sense in the world. So it's the best test you could do, if you're going to get ready to watch. Because I play hockey, and I'm a hockey purist, and if the guy makes a 70-foot pass across this sheet of ice to another guy, and there's not a lot of other players on the ice in the picture, and it comes across white, it goes like this. And not really, the action is just ruined by that staggering, So, and this on the Arvolution player on ESPN so far at 1080, which I think in most cases, in some cases, probably only 720, but it's really smooth, looks really analog, and it's comfortable to watch. So that's my review on that so far.
So in the chat, they ask what you have it's a 98, right?
Me, I have 85.
Oh, 85. I'm sorry.
X95L from 2023, late 23. It's a beautiful TV.
Yeah, no, it's gorgeous. I thought it was 98. It looked bigger. I guess it looked bigger.
The sound makes it look bigger.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, your picture looked 300 inches because you
yeah. So yeah, no, so it's a 80. You said 88, right?
85. That's the only. Yeah, I was at the 23 CEDIA, and every TV brand was there, and I kept walking by the Sony booth, and they had a 55 there on the wall for 3 days straight. I saw it going, that's the best picture I've ever seen. Finally, the last day I asked the Sony guy, what's the deal with this? He goes, there's a new mini LED X95L, and the only size in the States they're going to have is 85.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, cool. And how much is it going to be? And he goes, $52.99. I go, okay, great. Thanks. Have a nice day. I never even dreamed I would get one. And then we were at Value Electronics a few months later, and Robert had one delivered at his right there in the lobby, sitting there when we were having a meeting with him. I go, is that an X95L? He goes, yeah. And it's yours for X amount of dollars. And I can't tell you what he said. And I just said, okay, here you go. That's it. I'll take it. Because he made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
Right,
so
right.
It was very, very nice of him.
Yeah.
It was between that and the A80L, the OLED, which was 83 inches, and I was going to get that. They're both, I think at the time they were about the same price. And so it was a toss-up between that. But you know how it is. That's what she said. Got to go for the extra 2 inches.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's a great display for sure. I mean, I have a Sony also. I have the older Sony though, and the thing just won't die. I'm waiting for it to die to upgrade it. It's the Sony 900E.
Yeah, that's
the thing won't die. And my wife was like, I was gonna buy you a new TV for the living room, and I was like, well,
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of CDS shows, I kind of came away with the conclusion that Sony's always had the best picture, and they still do. I don't know. I just think that's kind of obvious.
There he is. What's
Yeah,
up?
oh, speaking of
There he is.
that.
What's up? What's up?
And by the way, we got to get to Cecil's house too. So we got to.
Yeah, we got to get to Cecil.
I think he's a little afraid because he's got it like set up next to the stairs, and it's sort of like a living room, untreated room. But don't be scared, Cecil. We'll go. We'll enjoy it. I'm sure.
We're just gonna enjoy whatever you have, man. That's what this is all about, for sure.
So.
But no, that's great news that you were able to get the R-Evolution up and running.
It's legit product. That's all I can say. If anybody's ever been looking for, and I'm not going to be a sales guy here, I'm just being an enthusiast like you guys are. And I'm telling you, if you think it's cool to have your access to your stored media, your NAS or whatever, through a premium player that you know is getting the best sound and video you can, and giving you the whole R-Evolution, menu and displays and all that, and just to back out of it and go into HBO Max or Netflix on the same unit without switching inputs. Yeah, if that's cool enough feature for you, and that it's, if you really put the prices together and think about it, maybe it is a little high end, a little overpriced for what it actually is doing, but that convenience is kind of cool. And to know that everything's coming out at the same standard.
Did we talk to Raphael about the website? Is it a misnomer, or
I did not get to those little kind of discrepancies there. I didn't ask him about that, but okay. I will get to that when I can. Right now I'm working with Jack at R-Evolution on a couple of customers' service requests. One of them's getting fixed remotely, and another one had to get sent back. But I'm telling you, and that's another thing about R-Evolution products. I mean, I've been in front of every R-Evolution sale of every unit they sold in the U.S. over the last 5 years, minus last year. And I can tell you that our rate of people calling in for service is about 5 to 6 calls a year in that time. So you do the math, that's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, I never had an issue with my R-Evolution. It was more the only issue that I ever had with the R-Evolution is somehow, some way, it lost the path.
Yeah, to the NAS.
To the NAS, or it lost the path to the drive somehow, or whatever. And I just had to resync the drive again or whatever.
Yeah, no, that's always happened to me too, but randomly. And I think it happens a lot less now than it used to. But I think, did you ever go in there and give your NAS a fixed IP address for that?
No, because I was, the way that I was running this thing was I just had 6 separate external drives, and I used the extender, the
all into one collection.
Mm-hmm. So, but I didn't have the NAS until I reviewed it with you for you guys, and now I've bought my own personal NAS that's been sitting on the floor for 2 months that I need to get. And I want to get up and running prior to me doing this review. Whenever it's a QNAP.
Oh, okay.
It's a QNAP. What did I get? 12 bay? 16 bay.
The R-Evolution NAS is a QNAP.
No, that's a Synology, I think.
Right? No. Because the box on the inner box on the R-Evolution NAS, at least the latest ones, the last few that I've sold, it says QNAS on the side, not QNAP. You're right, QNAS.
Yeah, and it's also I believe the one that I had, it was running off of Windows.
This is the Windows Server.
Yeah,
that's what it runs off of.
Yeah,
Windows Server.
We tried to crack that thing, man. No, I'm just playing.
I mean, I'm sure it's not that hard.
No, we didn't. We did. We would have. Windows is one of the easiest.
I'm just messing around. No.
Not gonna bother. No.
No. It was. I wanted to do admin rights to it. To where I could put whatever I wanted on there,
Yeah.
and have free access to it, to where I can.
Well, you just know that whole reason that it makes all the sense in the world.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because it just opens up a can of worms for them getting so many customer service calls because somebody messed something up.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's understandable. I know that for sure. Look, my tech guy is right here on the corner. That's my tech guy.
And he hasn't been able to get in there. Because you need I guess they have admin passwords that they don't know.
We could have gotten in there if we wanted to. Let's put it that way. But
right.
I said no, we're not getting in there. So
yeah. I haven't been able to get into mine, just so you know. So I'm just as just as detached as you guys are. So, but the thing does what I need it to do.
Mr. Abe, what's going on, man?
What's happening, fellas?
Abraham.
Looks like you're in an Airbnb somewhere.
I'm at the in Orlando.
Oh wow!
At the
beautiful day in Florida, huh?
At the luxurious Mystic Dunes Hilton Vacation Club.
Oh, there you go.
Come over and you can help paint it.
I see.
Yeah, this used to be pretty good, but man, it's not as good as it used to be. my door doesn't lock good. So I can just come in here.
I'll keep my comments to myself.
Yeah.
Be right back.
Yeah. So no, I was at the client at the Orlando, the Art Deco theater one. You guys like with the angled wall?
Oh yeah.
I was hoping to do the podcast from there, but I stayed there. I was all day there at his house with him, thinking, and he seemed interested. But then he kind of got tired and stuff like that. And he's like, and he wanted to call it early night. I was like, it's his house. So I was like, well,
yeah, for sure.
So,
cool.
Yeah, I was hoping to do the podcast from there, but oh well. So I'm back in a.
When are you making it down this way? I need to see this Lindorf theater that's going on, man.
That's in Miami. Yeah, I'm going to be down there in probably 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
maybe I need to be your assistant or something that day.
Yeah, I would love it, man. I'd love you to come over there and help me with that thing. Want to come help me with the pre-wire? You're welcome to.
I'll help you. It's no problem. You help me hang fabric when it comes time. I'll help you with that.
I'll be hitting up my friends for some pre-wire help very soon.
Fair trade. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely. How you guys doing? Paul and it's a little tiny. I can't see who that is.
Bill.
Okay. I'm on an iPhone and like y'all are like ants.
Yeah, I'm on my iPad, and that's Sharky in the picture now. That's
Sharky.
What's happening?
Bill's returning from last week. He let us know that he was able to.
We got past that Dolby Vision obstacle with.
I missed that. I'll have to go back. So what was it?
It was basically just setting the resolution in the Arvolution player to 59,944 instead of 60, and that was enough to be able to tell Netflix that it's Dolby Vision ready. And then the next time I pulled up the movie, it said Dolby Vision /Atmos.
Oh, okay.
And it worked like a charm. And everything else was really smooth after that too. Like I think it was in the background trying to do it all the whole time. It was sort of slowing down performance. But now you just it's legit. It's a legit unit. And now the next test will be for me to do that on HBO Max. But that should be enough to get across the 4K across all of them. I mean, Dolby Vision on all of them. But and I told those guys I watched War Machine all the way through, first to see if it would play without buffering, and make sure it stayed nice the whole time. And boy, what a movie! What an experience! And it was very, very close to Blu-ray, level.
Look, I mean, streaming is Netflix streaming is definitely getting a lot better. I will say
it is good.
It is getting a lot better. Especially like some of the sound mixes are really good. The R.I.P. Rip movie that Ben Affleck and what's the other guy's name? Matt Damon. That was fantastic. I'd love to hear if a if they come out with a disc for that one, just to see if you can compare the two. This War Machine, the sound and the bass was great. Wasn't too happy about the ending of the movie of how they handled this War Machine. War Machine, you know, it was kind of
War
cheesy.
Machine 2 about 4 or 5 months away.
Yeah,
by
for
the
sure.
ending, it's like, okay.
Yeah, it was kind of cheesy the way that they handled this thing. I was
Well,
like, yeah.
but it's better that than I'm glad it wasn't like a 10-part miniseries. You know, that's a story that you like to see in one
Yeah.
half 2 hour stretch instead of just make it a whole movie.
Yeah, I watched it, but the bass was great, like you said. Sound effects was great. Plenty of Atmos, plenty of bass throughout the movie.
Yeah, they had to get creative because they had that machine, that thing, and it was so bizarre that whoever was going to design the sound on that had to think way outside of the box.
Yeah.
So there was some bizarre sounds coming out of that thing that were great. It was nice.
Just a spoiler alert. You know, there's a machine.
No. You know what? Don't tell him. I didn't. That's what's great about movies. That's why I was saying before, I don't like to watch previews. I like to not know what anything is going to happen and let it get started. Until I saw that, I went, "Oh, War Machine," right? I didn't. So that was what the movie totally got me. It did.
I think it's also involving a war.
Well, training for a war is what it started off. But
I mean, if you think Transformers on steroids, that's really what's going on.
Well, man, now I don't even have to watch the movie.
No,
you gotta watch. You gotta watch the movie. First of all, you gotta get off your wallet and get Netflix again.
Well, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, and that's the only place that's on is Netflix now.
Yeah, so it's only Netflix.
So will there be a disc of that ever available?
Sometimes they come out with discs, but it's not often that they do.
Yeah. So what do you watch, Don?
Okay, so I watched
Larry King. What did you watch?
You know, I actually had I had this turned off, and I thought it looked good. Let me turn it off.
No, I like it.
Oh, we like it.
It looks pretty good with it off.
Look at this. I think it looks good like that.
No, it's not you.
Yeah, it's not Larry King.
No, it's not. You need to.
I did like the camera.
I kind of like it with it on. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you've already. That's your.
Yeah, that's my background for what 2.5 years now.
You know, it's a compliment to the Larry King show.
No, so first thing that I watched. Well, not first thing. It's actually the last thing, and unfortunately, I'm extremely tired, and I got to get up early in the morning. And the reason I'm super tired is because me and the wife has been in the bedroom, so I can't tell you if there's. I can't tell you if there's surround sound or not because this was watched on my what sound bar do I have? The Bose. I have the Bose sound bar. But
the Vizio? What did you say?
The Bose sound bar. So I took in 2 days.
I lost sound.
I took in the entire season, first season of Hijack.
Oh.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hijack.
So this was on Apple TV Plus. It was so good that we streamed all 7 episodes in 2 days. So I really enjoyed this. I started watching it. Like I said, 2 days ago. So, but yeah, no, it's a good series if you haven't seen it. I don't know how they're gonna make they came out with a second season, so I don't know how they're gonna make a Hijack 2. So Jessica says she liked Hijack. Did you watch this one?
I don't remember that one. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, okay.
It's not one that I watched this week.
I see. It's not on the list for this week that you got written down.
No.
So you can't remember it.
Yeah. Even if I watched it, I didn't remember it. So,
So yeah, I watched that. It's a good series. First series I haven't watched in a while. So she said, "Nah, Paul doesn't watch series. just anime, right?"
Oh, it's a series.
Yeah, it's a
Oh, okay.
series.
Yeah, I don't watch series. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's on. That was a 7 episode series, and there is a second season that just came out. So but yeah, I watched that, and then obviously I watched War Machine. That was good. It's worth the watch. If you got Netflix, it's worth the watch. I will. There is some good sound effects in there. There's a lot of gunfire and other stuff like that. So it's definitely. I wouldn't say it's reference, but it's definitely demo worthy. But there are some scenes that you can demo in there for sure. And then the movie that took me by surprise, my horror flick. So I watched Sinister. And this movie there was some very good jump scares in it, but it was also kind of freaky too, man. I mean, it was definitely out there. And when this demon type of thing appeared, my whole entire room was just it was just shaking all over the place. So there's a lot of good bass scenes in this. It was in DTS Master Audio, and I upgraded it. Not upgraded it, but I up converted it. To play for in 9.
Is that on Kaleidoscape?
No, so this was I bought this one Kaleidoscape. Yep. Yeah, so it's a good movie. If you like scary movies, I definitely enjoyed this one. I don't know if anyone else has seen this.
It's called Sinister, you said?
Yeah, Sinister. Yep.
Okay.
So there are a good bit of jump scares in this too. So if you like jump scares, there are a good bit of jump scares. Some pneumonic or demonic type of stuff going on.
So let me ask you, Don, when you watch that in your theater, did you watch that alone or did you watch it with your wife?
I watched it with my wife, but I watch scary movies by myself. I don't care.
Oh, see, I can't. There has to be somebody in the room.
Yeah, no.
I don't watch scary movies. Like I just don't even watch them.
I watch Stranger. The Strangers. I watched that by myself a couple weeks back. Yeah, I don't care. Doesn't bother me.
I mean,
I like the jump scares. I laugh at them. I think it's funny when they scare the shit out of me, man. So, but no, this thing, it's got good bass. It's got decent sound effects. Obviously, it's a scary movie, so sound effects coming from around or all around everywhere. Definitely recommend it. There is a Sinister 2 out that IMDb just absolutely destroyed in the ratings. So I bought it just because I got to see it.
I mean, it just looks like it has the potential to be cheesy, but you said it was fun enough.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. But this one, if I go here to Sinister 2, IMDb, I guess 5.3 out of 10 is not much better than much worse than the first one. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. I mean, just to give a backstory, you get it watching it in the first part of this movie, but and I mean, shit, this is from 2015. So if you haven't seen it, I'm not giving too many spoilers away, but basically there's a writer that moves into a house with his family to do investigation on a 4-person hanging in the backyard of the house that he bought. So, and Ethan Hawke is good, man. I like him. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
So it's but yeah, I'm glad to see that he's actually in the second one too. So I didn't think that he would be in the second one, but yeah, it's a good scary movie. So, and it definitely at the end it definitely showed you that there was going to be a Sinister 2. Back then in 2015, and then a Sinister 1, Sinister 2 when Sinister 1 ended. So, and then they came out with this one in 2015. So I got to check that one out and see if the sound's just as good. So how about you, Paul? What did you check out this week?
Oh man, I got a few of them.
Oh, you
Oh,
got
wow.
it all lined up like I
Movie
do. Huh?
time.
I gotta write them down, or I don't remember. I'm like, gosh, I watched several movies this week. I watched Automata.
Automata.
Yeah. Why did you stop sharing, dude? You know you got it. You're the one that has to look it up.
I know. I got to look it up first. I've never heard of that one.
Automata, M-A-T-A, I believe. On that, Automata.
Automata. Okay, I got that's from
Got
2014.
on-
I got that one.
Antonio Banderas in it, and it got a
Automata.
really low rating.
Wait,
So
how
that-
old is that movie?
2014.
Yeah, I think I
So-
saw that. That was
So that one has a really low
when it was
rating.
new.
So that was one that we bought
Oh yeah.
thinking
I
it was
remember
going
that
to be, our next tiptoe.
Oh goodness. Oh, you were looking for the low rating.
I was, because if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes score, it's pretty low. It's a 3, I think.
Oh wow.
So and I'm kind of with IMDb on this one. I'm like, it's just a 6. There's nothing amazing or bad about it. It's got some interesting.
That's so weird how loose sound on this.
So
What's the next one that you got?
I'll save my favorite for last. We watched the 4:30 movie, which that was a fun movie. That was
2004 comedy. Okay.
kind of a day of type of.
Looks like a
in the
Ferris
life.
Bueller's Day Off type of thing.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, that's not quite like. It's nothing quite like that, but yeah, it's along those lines. Yeah.
I see.
So it was it was pretty good. And then I watched Greenland.
Oh, Greenland. Yeah, I've been wanting to watch that because I have Greenland 1 and Greenland 2.
Yeah, that's your run of the mill, like end of the world type of
Right.
situation.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah. Let's just put it to you this way: if you think if you're judging the movie based by the actor, you're pretty much nailing this movie. You know what I mean? Type of deal.
What the hell is Abe doing over here?
I don't know, but we probably ought to mute him because he sounds like he's opening a bag of Doritos. Oh,
We'll take him off until he's ready to.
No, I
So he's
don't
ready.
yeah,
think
we
he knows he
might
was
see a
muted.
shot that we
He
don't want to
wasn't
see
muted.
with that camera angle.
No, I don't have you guys again. That's so weird.
Okay, so my favorite favorite movie in a really long time, and I don't know if there may be better movies coming out this year, but I watched Project Hail Mary.
There we go.
That
so
that to me was an amazing movie. That went above the 6 rating. I love that movie. And someone made the comment, "Oh, nerds are gonna like it," or techie people, or something like that. And I was like, "I love that movie," and they were like, "Yep, there you go."
95 on Rotten Tomatoes. I mean, that gotta.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, it's the best movie I've seen in a long time. I really like that movie.
Okay. So
Now, as far as the sound and stuff like that, I'm gonna have to watch it at home.
right.
I just don't know if you can hear. I watched it in IMAX. So, and there was a couple times I noticed some overhead stuff. But it was more of like the music score, and maybe and I don't even remember. It was. I guess I don't concentrate or try to listen for Atmos stuff. You know
Look,
what
yeah, I
mean?
mean, look, if you're into the movie, if you're sucked into
Yeah.
the movie, you're not listening for that stuff, right?
Oh, I'm not listening to any of that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
when you go back and you watch it for the second and third time, that's when you start noticing that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're sucked into the movie,
Oh man, I was in full tilt on this one. They did a really good job of telling the story. and I haven't read the book or anything, but one of Jessica's friends said that it was one of the best book to movies that they've ever seen.
Oh wow.
So that, I mean, you know how that is. If it's that good, that usually means it's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of like Lord of the Rings. People love that because it's pretty good for
Pretty true to the books.
yeah, closely. You know what I mean. But it's also a really long movie, so people
Right.
that,
Yeah.
so there's that to consider. No one's bragging about that 4,000 page book was just the movie was just like it.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah. So I was talking to my wife because she was asking, do we want to have like a date night on Saturday? And I was thinking that this Project Hail Mary could be part of the date night, because I have an IMAX here in South Florida that not a lot of people have. They actually have the
Wait, your theater's not good enough for a date night? Sinister? That's
well,
not a time for you
no,
not-
no, it's fine, but I can't see Project Hail Mary right now.
Right,
and I'm
right.
dying to see
Okay.
this.
I mean, K-Scape's not that good yet.
I guess
Yeah.
date night has to involve getting in the car and driving somewhere.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I'm thinking because this the museum in Fort Lauderdale for children, the one
Yeah.
that has all the signs, they have that big IMAX there, and they have a special projector that when Oppenheimer came out, that there was only like eight of these theaters in the country
that had
that have that type of I think it's like 72 millimeter.
70 millimeter,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. So
I saw that. I saw Dune 2 at the Majestic Theater in Hollywood in that same thing. There's like 12 theaters in the country that have the 70 millimeter projector.
yeah, so I want to go there and I want to see this film in that 70 millimeter. So that I'd like to do that. By oh yeah, so it's IMAX AutoNation. Yeah, so that's what.
I didn't know they had that one there.
Yeah,
I saw that Becoming Led Zeppelin movie there on opening night in IMAX.
yeah. So I'm thinking that I want to do that and for date night maybe and pick up some dinner in Fort Lauderdale because we don't travel down there a whole lot.
There you go.
There's a lot of good restaurants in Fort Lauderdale for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's
look at that.
I get the seal of approval from
I was
Jessica.
gonna ask because I was like, I don't know if Jessica liked it as much as I liked it. But
So we get the seal of approval. So yeah, so I thinking about reaching out to the babysitter to see if we can get over there to see that. I got to try to buy the tickets because that theater sells out a lot.
Oh yeah, the ones that we had, all the good seats were. I mean, they were just gone. It was going to be. I sat further back than I usually like, and otherwise it would have been like 4 days, or this. And you can't do that in an IMAX. That's you can't even see then.
Yeah. Abe, you good to go now, sir?
Yeah, then I switched to my laptop. Audio kept on dropping out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Bill's having the same issue too. He was with his phone.
You might have to, if you have USB headphones or whatever, because what I'm guessing is that's probably like the auto echo cancellation and stuff like that. So it's cutting people out.
Yeah.
No, I'm just using the speakers.
No, I'm saying whenever you were on an iPhone, because you're using speakerphone, it's so close. It's the application is shutting,
auto canceling out. Yeah, it's auto
in.
canceling out the.
It's just turning
echo.
off. It's like, oh, that's going to be an echo. Let's just turn it off.
Yeah, so I just went and grabbed my laptop and I said, okay, let me just set this up. I don't know how good the Wi-Fi is in this hotel.
I don't know if there's a way to go into settings and turn off the auto echo, but then you're probably going to echo.
Right,
So I
for
keep
sure.
losing you guys in sound, and that's why I keep dumping out and coming back in. Then the sound comes back. I wonder
Yeah,
if I use.
I
Do you have headphones?
Yeah, I was gonna say if I use
Yeah, I bet you if you use
iPad.
headphones, yeah, it won't.
Like
Yeah,
I don't have them. I don't have them with the USB-C. That
Do you
my
have Bluetooth? You could use Bluetooth, I'm sure. It's worth a shot.
No,
Yeah.
I don't have those
Bluetooth
here
headphones.
either. I don't have anything
No,
here.
well then.
So,
Yeah.
Bill, other than War Machine, any other movies that you were able to partake? Did you take any?
No, I
Any?
haven't.
Well, you said you're not at your home, so I was.
I
gonna ask
haven't
you-
had that kind of time. It was weird. War Machine started. I saw the first 15 minutes of it just to see if the Dolby Vision was working, and then I was like, "Oh man, I think
You were hooked. I was got to watch.
Oh, I love those movies.
I paused it, and then about 3 hours later, when I knew the contractor where the realtor was gone, and I had the house to myself, I dug in, man, and in the middle of the day too. But at least I could get to total darkness in that room. Even
So, are
in the
you
middle of the
selling
day.
the theater and everything with that?
No, so the theater, all of the gear is going to go in like 5 or 6 truckloads back to my condo.
Oh, okay.
That's basically going to take up all the room in my dining room until I figure out where I'm going to build my next theater, which is
I can hold on to those.
I know.
Those 15s for you. I can put them right in the
for
center.
15s, yeah.
I can stack them right in the center, the side centers.
I mean, you know what? I should
You'll find a place for it, huh?
Well, I should bring them to your house with one of those TQ 3000 amplifiers because I know you'll end up buying them. So I should. I could sell an extra pair because I think you'll like
I would love to cut that wall open because I have plenty of room to put them right inside of that wall and dump them right there.
You mean
I left room literally
on the sides facing each
at
other?
the 90%. Yeah, I left room on that in the framing.
Well, they're supposed to go behind your screen and then against the back. Ideal what they're doing is they're taking 4 or 6 Hammer 15s and putting them in waveforming and Trinov. That they say that really works really well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're using those in their demos now. They're using Mag Theatrons.
Oh, wow, that's good to know.
Yeah, they have been. I know the last couple they did. So I don't know. Maybe you know what they are using those is an Avalon system. You've seen that Avalon system the Mag Theatron has. It's like this whole wall system that it's like integrated. It's the next level up from
Yeah, I remember that. I have a video of that from Cedia. Yeah,
outrageous. Yeah, so but when you have the front and the back and you do the waveforming, that's supposed to be like the cool hip thing to do now.
Yeah, that's the
I was trying to
latest and
see if I
greatest.
have pictures of. Let's see.
Of the Avalon.
No, of my theater build, so that I could show you that I got room for them in this.
I'm sure you did. I mean, I could use extra room in my dining room if you want to hang on to a couple of pieces. I'll be happy. I mean, I'm not even joking. I'll let you hold on to some of this stuff for a few months if you want.
So this is my wide right here, and this is my first set of side surrounds. So I left this area. I got this one board here, but it's literally not supporting anything that I could knock out and easily put something here, and it's the same thing on the opposite side too. The plan was to put 2 SI 18s in there, but
That's not deep enough. That's not deep enough for Hammer 15s because they're good. They're good.
Well, there's 9 inches there.
I think they're 13, but
We make them fit.
Yeah,
Make it fit. Put it in there.
So, but,
well, I think that's also cool when you were explaining last week how you'll still be able to get sunlight in the room if you want.
Yeah. No, I'm still working on that design. I need to get Sabi to come over. Maybe he can. He supposedly he's like the MacGyver of everything. What he was telling me. He's making all these tools and stuff for his car wrapping business that he's got, and he's making all kind of inventions and posting them and everything else. So maybe I can get his input on how to block in these picture windows, and that way I can figure out if I'm doing it right or not. So
I think basically at this point my plan is to go sell my condo and take the money I'm making on the sale of my mom's house and just buying a fixer-upper, and then having part of that fixer-upper project be, okay, let's take this room and
Yeah.
build it the way it's supposed to be built.
You might as well buy a fixer up, or if the first thing you're gonna do is tear it down to
Right. And as long
theater here and there.
the more I can get the contractor to do, the less everything will cost, because
Yeah.
he's on the premises.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are the
that.
windows.
That's really big.
These are these windows are like 9
Wait a
inches, 10 inches deep.
What are we looking about? Is this a rendering, or did you put
That,
wall?
no, that's
No,
my actual
That's
theater.
an actual photo. Yeah.
What?
That rendering.
Oh, congratulations! That's big.
Well, you were in my theater, Bill.
Yeah, but this didn't have those walls weren't up when I was in.
Yes, they were.
What? Wait a minute. What
I
was
have-
the,
I
what were
have.
the 2x4s that were lining up on the thing that I saw?
It's on-
The other side?
Yeah. So basically, what that is it's blocking for the for the fabric wall that's gonna be there.
But I don't. How come it's not in that picture?
It's probably in a
Old picture, right?
Yeah. So here you go, right here. Look at this one.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. See, that's there. The blocking's on that.
That
That's
block.
all going to be for the fabric.
So
Okay.
apparently those boards made that room look a lot smaller.
Maybe.
You
Maybe.
know,
Yeah.
Don, I was just thinking. I was looking at this 2x4. Several years back, we did the lobby millwork for Georgia Pacific in Atlanta, downtown Georgia, and it was like basically it looked like an unfinished building. So it was like all their building products, like their 2x4s and their drywall and this. So it's just the whole lobby looked like it was unfinished, but it was finished because it was just all their building product. So it kind of looked like that. It looks like an unfinished wall, and there was but it was like showcasing their 2x4s, and it was kind of funny. That's going to remind me of that.
Yeah. No. So if I go help Abe pull cable, maybe it'll help me put fabric up. So.
Well, hey, if I'm going to go there, yeah, we definitely need to coordinate that when I'm going there. I'll come back up there, and we'll just put fabric up, put track up, and stress some fabric.
Track and
I'll help
fabric.
you guys out as long as you help me out when it comes time for me.
Time to move.
I don't know. That's a rough deal there.
No, not the moving. I'm talking about the pre-wiring and stuff. I just
Oh,
need
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, man, nobody wants to help you move those.
No, I know
gigantic
that.
magnets. It's like, hey, you help me move 1,000 pounds.
This is all going
I'll
to
help
be.
you.
I guarantee you, I'm going to end up having to put both of those Hammer 15s into the back of my pickup truck by myself. Just tonight, and I'll do it. That's all right. Piece of cardboard over the edge, gently roll it in, make sure you slide it, make sure it stays on cardboard the whole time. Everything will be fine.
call me, man. I'll help you out.
All right. Sure you will.
No, I will. Seriously. I'll help you out.
If he's available.
Especially if I'm taking him to his house. That's
no, you ain't got to bring them here. I was just messing around.
No, but they're not going to be. All my gear is going to be idle for it. Probably what I guess would be probably a few months.
For sure. Yeah. No.
Which
I
sucks.
understand. Well, I mean, look, you're gonna
Reemerge.
combine two into one, and it's gonna come out great, man. So
Yep.
So I mean, the house that you guys redid looked phenomenal. I mean, when I walked in there,
It's been on the market for 4 days, and we've already got an offer. This guy.
that means you're too low.
Yeah, I know it kind of sucks, but that. I don't know. There's a lot of good reasons to. Well, let's see. We're still going to talk about it, but it's like it's the asking price, and it's the asking price was about,
I've sold 2 or 3 different houses. If usually the first offer is usually the best offer.
That's what all the realtors are saying too, and then and the asking price that they put on the house was a lot more than I thought they were going to put it up for. So
yeah,
I already consider that a gain. So
for sure,
we're good.
Yeah, no, the like I said, every time the first offer has been the best offer for me, and unfortunately,
we were going to have an open house on Saturday, and the buyer just told the realtor, "Please don't have the open house. I want the house."
I don't want nobody in my house. What's going on, Scott? What's going on, Scotty O? How are you,
much,
man?
guys? How you doing? Able to join at least for a little bit here tonight. So,
The guy who never shows up for the live stream. I like it.
oh, I still have that in there. Hey, I did a couple lately.
Byline.
So Scotty O, he's been pretty active in the Home Theater Hub chat that we got on Facebook Messenger. And he's got some stuff that he's working on in the background over there. So
Yeah.
Scott, you want to talk about a little bit of stuff what you're working on over there?
Oh, geez. Man of many hobbies. Which one do you want me to start with?
That goes.
I guess I'll go with project one that is not anywhere near complete, but it is functional for
Project
me.
one.
So I have an automated 4K DVD, Blu-ray, anything you toss at it kind of ripping solution that I am prototyping on my home system. And I'm at about a 99.5% accuracy rate now. So whatever I drop into the system, whether it's a season, a disc, it's looking up all kinds of things from metadata to file sizes to file lengths, and even grabbing audio snippets from the individual different movie files that get automatically ripped, doing a transcode against that, and then looking for that information online to see if it can find a match. So accuracy is extremely high. It's all built with open source components, so there's no paid solutions in there with the exception of Make MKV. So there is one tie into another piece of software, but yeah, it's working really good. I haven't had time to finish that. I've been getting kind of sucked into other projects now that just kind of fell in my lap and ones that I want to do. So one of these days I'll try to wrap that up and package it and make it easy to install, hopefully in like a NAS or on your local computer. But I'm a bit of ways away for that one. So
If it's 99% accurate, you can kick it out like you can kick it out like all the other
Shoot,
companies do,
that's more
and
accurate.
make everybody else the beta tester.
That's
I
more
just-
accurate
I need an easy installer, right? And I needed
Okay.
to support so mine was, I started it out of frustration. So I initially developed it on a Mac because I use a Mac, and then I have a Linux based NAS, and the two, Mac, Linux, they're very similar in functionality and like some of the apps that you can run. So making it, for myself was a little bit easier now, like kind of transforming that to like where probably 90% of the viewers are people in this space are probably running Windows, right? Or they're running a QNAP, or they're not quite to the same technical level that I might be at. I'm sure there's a few individuals in here that could put it together and make it run, but I really want to make it easy for everyone.
Okay.
Oh.
So what's your second project that you're working on?
Second one was, I think within our home theater group, I see a request every now and then, like, hey, I need this or I need that, and I can't find a good deal on it. I'm out of hard drive space, and where can I get the best space for the dollar, right? So I've been working on a new website. It's called cinemabacon.com, and it's cut the fat. Yeah, cinemabacon.com. I could share it real quick. Right now I have it in, it's functional, but I have all the functionality disabled because I was actually coding on it yesterday. So, but I can share kind of the thought and the idea behind it. Let's see. I've got so many tabs open.
I know that feeling. I'll get on a meeting and people are like, you got enough tabs open, Don?
I think it's this one.
Can't give you a tab unless you pay for something. What movie is that from?
All right.
Oh, goodness. I can't remember.
Come on. Can't give you a tab unless you pay for something.
So the idea behind this is I want to capture not just computer-based hardware like hard drives or anything that's really focused on home theater, finding home theater deals, and new home theater items. I might dip a little bit. You can see I have some recertified stuff, and that's just because
Oh,
hard
let me
drives.
share it. Hold on. Let me add the stage.
Oh, it doesn't show up right away.
There we go.
And I'm all running ahead of schedule here.
Sorry, that was my fault. That was the operator error
Hey,
So it might be a little hard to see, but so the idea behind it is that I can add any backend that I want to scrape and find prices, right? So right now I have a total of 30 different retailers that are behind this. I'm only testing out with the major retailers. As you can see, there's Amazon, and if you dig in here, you'll probably see like a Best Buy one somewhere. But I'm interacting with their websites. I'm looking for more than just like the retail price. It'll look and to see if you have like a click here to see the price in your cart kind of situation. And then it'll rank it by how good the deal is. And so it'll actually do storing historic data. So it starts the day I turn it on, obviously, and then it'll capture every day all through the history of it. So the algorithm's set on 90 days. So if it sees a dip beyond the average, like a fairly decent dip, then it will come back and it'll display on the front page here, and you'll have a sizzle score, right? Cut the fat and find the sizzle.
there. There we go.
hey,
The higher the sizzle score, the better the deal is, right?
Oh, that's very
And
cool.
then you got all your tabs and everything up here for the different types of things. So
very
speakers,
nice.
processors, amplifiers.
Okay,
Wow,
so
even Blu-rays and movies, like individual movies and stuff.
I'm having a problem with Blu-ray movies, and I'm not really sure the legality of having Blu-ray movies scraped like this. There's a weird thing with movies and media where if you
No, Hollywood's making something different.
yeah,
Oh, that can't be.
there's even like getting access to like listings and things like that. It's like restricted on some of the movies. So
Crazy, man.
probably players, media, and drives for the moment. And then once I figure out like, can I do it for movies, right? Because a lot of us are like, oh, there's a 4K UHD sale going on Amazon. You know, buy one get one free, or buy two.
Yeah.
Do that a lot of times, but I'm a little leery of like getting in some hot water by doing that. So
Wow, man, that's crazy.
let's click
and
on
then-
TVs and projectors. What do we got for that? Let's see what this
they're just it's all trial stuff. So I think I
Okay.
have one UST projector in there, and it's not pulling the data at the moment because I have everything paused, so it's not listed. If it goes over so many days, so that's kind of a cool thing too. Like if it goes over so many days and the product's not updated or not available, it'll automatically kind of put it in the background and archive it, so it's not going to get flooded with a bunch of old crap that no one cares about.
Serious stuff, man. Nice work.
And then if you search for a brand, like say I want like I have some examples, so I'll just do like the X3800. I don't know if I have this. Yeah, that one is existing. So let me try like Sony.
Sony, no baloney.
So yeah, I still have it shut off. But anyway, so when I have this part turned on and when I'm not in test mode, so you can type in the product that you want, and if it's not being scanned for a deal, it'll show you a picture of it. It'll show you the link to it, and you can click request to add. And then I get a notification like, hey, someone wants to add a new product to be monitored. And I
That's
can either approve it or deny it. And the cool thing is when you add a product, it doesn't just add it for like, say it finds it on Amazon.com. It'll find it on, say it's Amazon.com, but it'll also scour through all 30 retailers and start tracking prices on all the retailers and not just the one.
Wow.
And then you can manually add one here if it's not in there. That's
pretty
the
awesome.
Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
So
And project number 3?
project number 3. So hey, good to see some home photos there. Actually, yeah, I'll turn that back on.
Yeah, you gotta turn that back on.
Yeah. Hang on. Photos. Here we go. I'll just share that screen. I'm right where I needed to be. So yes. So as you guys know, that they called the end of making Blu-ray UHD drives for PCs, right? And kind of sad news, and hopefully someone will pick it back up. But what does that mean? It's whatever is built and available is all that we have left. So once they're gone, there will be no new stock to buy to back up your movies. So I started dipping in and finding stock because prices. Well, actually, Don sent me on this mission. He's like, he's like, I need to get a UHD drive to back up some of my media, and I'm like, well, what's the problem? And he's like, well, have you seen the prices? And I was like, it's not something, if you already own one, you don't even look for it, right? And so they started going crazy with prices, and I was kind of following along. And honestly, for like a few months now, I was just kind of like, yeah, it is what it is, and I didn't really think about it. And then they just keep climbing, and manufacturer after manufacturer just calling it quits. So I ended up picking up some and just some extra ones. Yeah.
Do we know?
I started off with just a couple, and then I was like, you know what? I was like, that's cool. Well, maybe I can find some that are cheaper. Like, I'm gonna start dipping into like some of the overseas brands. I'm gonna start looking in China. I'm gonna start looking in Japan. What do they have in Australia? So I actually ended up picking like 5 drives up from Australia, but I started trying to find like alternative manufacturers. So like we know there's like LG, there's Asus, we know all the popular ones in the US, but what exists kind of outside of that. And I was actually able, you can see I have a couple of non-name brand stuff in that pile, but I've just as of today, I found a good seller of brand new drives. They're LG based drives, but the prices are really good. So
okay, awesome.
So
these drives are make MKV friendly, right?
These are they come not make MKV friendly, right? And I'm getting a good price on it. So what I'm really, like I started buying, I'm like, I'm gonna just grab a few extra, and just our home theater group here and a couple of other individuals that I know. I'll have some backups if we ever need it. And I'll just have a little like hidden stash over here. And
I may be buying a few of those from you because I have NAS customers that need them.
Nice. Let me know. I have some really good lines now that I can get. I actually have first right of refusal on about 350.
Oh, nice.
So they won't sell until if someone comes up and tries to buy the lot, they won't sell without notifying me first.
Oh wow, nice.
And the whole reason I'm like, I'm not trying to get rich off of these. Like, I want to like grab them and like make sure that we all have enough stock to back up our stuff, right? So
for sure.
I keep seeing the prices climb, and then I'm like, what a bunch of scalpers. I'm like, how really, how much you guys really need to make off of this stuff?
And well, how much do you need to make off of
it? It's into a sad state, you know what I mean? Like, we all do this for fun. Like, we don't need to be screwed over as well.
But are there still like a couple $100 or what?
So it depends on the ones that I get and then where I source them through. So some of them I could make a small profit. I'm flashing them, I'm taking them out, I'm flashing them, and then I'm running a full like disc test through each one as I get them before I ship them out. So some of them I could get rid of as low as $100, right?
All right.
Some of the brand names still command kind of a higher price, and that's why you see some of them pushed up near the $200.
Well, that's where it should be. That's right where it should be. Yeah.
So
even though we all know they cost like $16 to build, probably. But,
probably right.
Yeah. But and just so you know, when Zapedi or Arvolution, I guess in Europe, when they sell, well, they don't have to now in Europe because they have the built-in drive. But when they sell an external drive, they retail it for like $349 or $399 because it's it's taken care of and it matches perfectly and it's a seamless integration into the NAS. So
I kind of took it to like the whole next level, and that kicked off not long ago. What was that? Was that Saturday or Sunday that I contacted you, Don?
Yeah. You reached out to me, say, hey, I got some.
So So the local micro center had the LGs sitting there. They had a stack of 10 for like $94 or something like that a piece, right? And I'm in California, so well, tack our crazy tax onto it, and then you can kind of
Yeah.
figure out what I paid for them, right? But I'm like, I'm gonna go snag them because they're getting really hard to get. So I did the order online. I submitted it. I had them hold it at the front desk, and I'm like, I'm gonna walk back to the aisle and see maybe they have some. Don was looking for an external one still, so I'm like, maybe they have an external or a full size one sitting back there somewhere. And I'm like going through the aisle, and there's another guy looking at one, and he's checking it out. I'm like, hey, you seen anything? I'm like, are you looking for a Blu-ray? He's like, yeah. He's like, they don't really have any, and he's like, I'm like, oh, so none of them. No. I'm like, well, I have some. And he just kind of at first was just like, oh yeah, whatever, And then I'm like, no. Do you need one? And I thought at first he was like looking at me like I'm a little sketchy, I'm like, no. I have 10 of them at the front desk, and he goes, oh, you son of a. He goes, I looked this morning and they had 10 in stock. I came out here and you bought them all. And we were just kind of like talking and joking back and forth, and like, do you want one? He's like, yeah. He's like, what do you want from it? I'm like, well, what do you want to give me? And he was like $150. I'm like, and I was going to give it to him at cost if he asked that for cost, right? I was just like, I didn't really care. So we go up to the desk and I pay for it, and he Venmos me, and he ended up getting 2 instead of 1. He wanted 2 instead. So I had like a good $80 right there. And then I'm walking out the door, and there's 3 younger guys, and they see me carrying the rest of these Blu-rays. And they're like, are those Blu-ray players? And I was like, yeah, they're the Blu-ray writers, right? They're like, dude, we're just going to get some. And the other guy is like, he bought them all. And then they were like, hey, can we buy some off of you? And I ended up selling 5 more. So I ended up coming home with 3.
Well, in your ventures, did you stumble upon any reason why Asus and LG stopped putting them, other than just lack of demand?
Give me 1 second. I gotta get there.
I got some.
No problem.
I believe the manufacturer actually is still HL, whatever it is. It's
For all.
Hitachi LG. They are still making them.
Is
now.
that who?
Yeah, it's like Hitachi LG. I forgot digital systems, like
Right.
it's whatever it is, whatever that
Probably Hitachi
combo
when it comes
name.
down to it.
Yeah, they're I believe the ones that are the only ones still manufacturing are
Yeah,
And
I
it's
mean-
all just basically because of a lack of demand. It's not sort of a mandate from.
Yeah, I mean, look, none of the
Yeah.
new computers
Movie
come
studios.
with one anymore. Nobody's buying
Yeah.
them for a computer.
Yeah, no, that's
You know, you download everything off the site. You don't.
Right.
There's no need for an optical
Right.
drive anymore.
we've had it to where drives are so affordable, but now drives are getting super expensive.
Well, everything
So-
computer-wise is getting. I mean,
Well,
memory-
the whole beginning of our conversation just ties into this. It's like if Dolby Vision can work that good with Netflix on these various players now, and it's basically this far away from being
It's
as
getting
good as a
closer.
Blu-ray. I mean,
It's
why? It's just bringing us all closer to
I mean,
Yeah.
physical media Armageddon.
Yeah,
Look,
that's
I
sad.
got 2 of these, right? I literally just bought them probably maybe 2 months ago. I showed Paul my backup list, right, on my external hard drive. I probably backed up 10 discs, and I have 2 of these on each one
They
of these. So
stopped.
maybe 20. I've got to send them back out for warranty.
Why did you try reflashing it?
Yeah, so I reflashed it. It's the gear mechanism. It's not sliding back and forth anymore. So and it's not reading the disc. It's getting called up. I don't know. It's so that's the that's
I'm gonna have to
that's
3D print some parts to fix all this.
yeah, you're gonna have to 3D print parts to fix the old drives for sure, and motors, and so
Yeah,
that's gonna be your niche.
yeah,
Scott's gonna sell it.
exactly.
Yeah, one day I may need you to help me 3D print some parts for an old mini disc player that I need a little
Oh, sweet.
that broke.
Yeah.
I still have one
I
too.
can't throw it away. I just thought
Oh,
like this.
nice.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Yeah, I think there's only like I don't think there's any manufacturers left, Paul.
I think Hitachi LG is still manufacturing, aren't they?
Not that I've seen. I can't find.
No,
any
I don't know that they're
evidence.
selling them as their branded products, but they're still manufacturing them.
Don't know if that's true.
I don't
It's
know.
been
Did they?
posted several places that they
Oh, wow.
are ceasing
I
production.
saw you
That
shake your
means
head.
That means nobody's making them.
Nobody's
This is
making them.
Into the little slim USB.
All of them. All of them.
Yeah, because I recently, not because of you guys, several months ago, bought those two ones that I have. I have the LG and this Ultra
Yep.
HD disc. Yeah, so even those are not starting to go away.
Well, yeah, because the only manufacturer that
So-
makes the drives that go
LG.
inside all those parts.
Is
If
LG.
he's saying they're no longer manufacturing, that was it. They were the only ones left.
So what? So
Well,
what's
there's
so
only-
you
there's only-
guys are the tech guys, right? So what's next? You modify your Blu-ray player to be able to output.
Exactly what I was going to ask.
No, you can't. I mean, some of them you can if they. So there's like a weird.
Didn't I hear that you could do
know
that
of
with the
some
Opos?
drives
too?
that can.
Couldn't I
Can
use my
you
capture
cross
card to
that?
capture that?
What's that?
Could I use my capture card to capture what's coming out of there?
There you
Well,
go.
you got to be able to read it first. You can't just stick the disc in front of the capture card and hope.
Well,
you-
no. So you put it on you put it in your Blu-ray, your Panasonic
Oh.
9000. You hook up your capture card. I
Theoretic-
don't know. I don't
it-
know if that's lossless audio going into the capture card though.
You would need
Yeah,
to capture the bit stream, but generally not. You're getting like something like PCM out of it, then
Okay.
maybe
Yeah.
multiple channels, but yeah.
And plus, if you're doing that, unfortunately you're not going to be capturing any of the Dolby Vision or HDR information, and you're going to be capturing however you have yours set, which will not match someone
Yeah,
else.
it'll just be one codec. There won't be anything selected.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
so I
have
mean, what is
HDCP protections that you need to get
Yeah,
by.
yeah.
It's
Now
there-
Now
that-
you're
that
a
leads to the
bootlegger.
next
Now
that
you're
leads
just a
to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
next that leads to the next
You're
question, right?
We're back to bootlegging.
Well, that,
What-
no,
what-
but you were shaking your head when I said, "Well, it's getting us closer to physical media Armageddon." You don't believe that it's going away? I mean,
Well, I mean, it's obviously they're trying to push that path, right? And-
Yeah, they want to.
absolutely. They
they're-
want to because they the more they can limit any of us from doing any type of.
I think it may have a resurgence because like you think about all the collectors, right? And you see that
Yeah.
with records, right? Like
I think they
records in
underestimated
theory
that.
should
They
just
took them at
probably
Best Buy.
gone away,
Yes.
right? They're not
Yeah,
a
I
good
think-
platform.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I think they underestimated the collector's value when they took them out of Best Buy, and now you can go on Best Buy online and get them, right?
Yeah.
So like they sort of backpedaled on that, but I'm just, and then I heard that there's a few key directors like James Cameron that are like that have this purity about it that they just really need to have the full lossless. But are we going to get to a bandwidth? You're probably a good person to ask. Is bandwidth going to get to a point where it can be literally lossless?
It's there right now.
It's already
in
there.
metropolitan areas. It's there,
It's there.
but now you're talking about other areas of the that do not have the capability of doing it. You're not going to. I don't
So
think
geographically-
through
geographically-
Starlink you can do that, right?
Yeah.
The satellite internet. You're not going to be able to do that.
You can do that on satellite,
You can.
but the problem is there's only so much speed wise, but the limited bandwidth between, there's only so many satellites up there.
Right. That's what I'm
And the
saying.
new codecs, like if they don't compress it as much, right? So they're compressing it, on
Yeah.
purpose, right? So if they just change how they're compressing it, like visually, you wouldn't be able to tell a difference.
Yeah.
One of the things would be, you mentioned Dolby Vision, but there's 4 different versions of Dolby Vision, right?
Yeah.
So if you're talking like Dolby Vision 5 can look pretty close to Dolby Vision 7. Arguably, that's like your Kaleidoscape. That's Dolby Vision 5, right? Dolby Vision 7 is Blu-ray. So there's a difference between the two platforms and what they handle.
Yep.
Unless Kaleidoscape changed something that I'm not aware of. But the way that Kaleidoscape handles kind of that metadata that comes with Dolby Vision brings it damn near close. If not, there may not be no perceived difference. There is a difference, but it might not be perceived. And then you have Dolby Vision 8.1, which is like your streaming version of Dolby Vision, and that's the one that's compressed, and they actually lose a layer of definition with that.
That's like the Dolby Atmos streaming equivalent of AC3 or whatever it is they use in that codec to stream Atmos instead of lossless. I think it's sort of analogous. I think what you're saying.
Yeah, like if you look at it in an Atmos scenario, like there's less channels coming over, I believe, in the streaming version. Isn't it only limited to like 5.1 with Object? And then
I believe,
I think might be 7 channels with Object.
Might be 7.1.4, but I don't think it's that. I think it's just because now there's these music Atmos downloads you can buy. It's an MKV file. Steven Wilson did this new website called Headphone Dust, and you can buy Atmos albums now. And then when you hit the audio button, you get Dolby True HD Atmos or Dolby. I want to say there's an AC3 in there somewhere in this big long explanation, which is just a dumbed down. It's like a 480K MP3 version of Dolby True HD.
Okay.
I think when you're talking about that 8.1, it's probably a similar kind of thing.
I mean, your point, it's the capabilities are there to being basically identical, as long as you have the bandwidth. I think different methods of how they handle the file. You need to be able to buffer things like that a little bit better. Where going straight from like a raw Blu-ray, it does do some buffering, but not generally. Right. You can run into some issues over the internet. So there's better ways and methods to handle that stream. But yeah, it's totally doable. Someone just needs to like
step it up
and let us do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Look, I know in the metropolitan areas where you're pushing, 1 gig up and down, 5 gigs up and down, 10. Some even are doing 10 gigs up and down now.
Wow.
You don't
even need that much, right?
No, yeah.
You can do it. Technically, you can do it on 100 meg. So
yeah, right. That's the thing. People start looking at HDMI throughput and don't realize, well, that's not. Your disk is even being decompressed. Like your format on your disk is like, think of it as it's zipped.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
but here's
unpackaged.
Right.
And then
what it sounds like to me is that the full absolute highest resolution product is on the server. It's ready to be watched. The only thing preventing it from being at that level is that particular person that's getting it bandwidth.
Well, the bandwidth, if you're doing it the standard today compression, but there's also compression for.
Great question. I love that question. I used to know that too. Whereas, but you can't really do a straight comparison. Like I think he heard me say 480K. That which is sort of like in the recording engineer world. When you make an MP3 of a song, is if you do it at 320K, it's pretty close to 16-bit 44.1, like a wave almost. It's as close as you can get with being in the MP3 world. And I think 480K as it compares to true Dolby HD is like a little bit higher quality MP3 of 11 channels in your room, right? So that's, to me, that's what I feel like the difference is. Now he's asking what the true bit rate in comparison on a Blu-ray is, and I believe it's in the
So it says bitrate of the
5
movie
digits.
varies significantly depending upon the source rating. The average is 15 to 30 megabits per second.
Yeah, your high end UHD.
30 megabits per second, not K.
Regular, like 100.
Yeah, 80 to 100 according
which
to
is
AI.
microns compared to
It is.
So,
It's
like
and,
a
and
big
it's
circuit.
remarkable that it sounds that good, even knowing it's so much smaller.
Yeah,
you know.
and some of them get higher than 100. Like you can usually look at your display and it'll tell
So scientifically, there's really no comparison, but it just seems like visually and real world experience is getting closer and closer.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And
you
that
look
could be
at-
our ears also getting used to it, because I heard like some ear scientist years ago talking about how your ears will make stuff sound better to your brain because you have a reference of something sounding that good from before your
Placebo.
life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like you can psychologically up mix your up sample
I can
your
psychologically upscale
experience
my
in your
music.
brain.
That's
Yeah.
called the placebo effect.
Yeah.
Well-
Well, and it's a real adaptability too, because you think
Yeah.
of like if you sit in front of an audio system for a long period of time and it's tuned like crap, it'll start to sound normal to you. That will be your normal, right?
That will
Like,
be your bar.
and then you'll go to someone that is
Well-
actually has a good tune, and you're like, this seems a little off, right?
As you know, it's the same thing. And as soon as I bought this Toyota car I had, and it had allegedly had a JBL synthesis system in it, and it honestly, I thought it was just too bright, and it just didn't sound good. But after a while, I just got so used to it, it sounds normal now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
It was for that
Like the
reason.
first time I-
I'm sorry. For that reason, I mean, I was a really, really loud car stereo enthusiast at Alpines and the whole thing, and I did that and I blasted stuff. But it's like the only mature decision I made as a young guy that I can remember to this day. Going, I'm not gonna put my treble settings on any of my stereos above 12 o'clock because I don't want later in life to need to have it up there. You know what I mean? So I've always kept treble a little bit lower and a little bit flatter below at 11 o'clock because I knew later in life I was going to become dependent on those higher frequencies. So I never did. And then I also heard that the ear does this miraculous version of, so when you're listening to really high definition, perfect, zero distortion audio in a very high-end system, your ears don't have to do any work to tell your brain what it sounds like. But if you're listening to an MP3, let's say you listen to Steely Dan Asia on a B&W system in somebody's house, years ago, and you have that memory in your head, your brain remembers that. And then you hear it on cassette later or on a shitty stereo. Now your ears are doing all this work to tell your brain, oh, it's Asia. It's supposed to sound like this. So actually you're perceiving it to sound better than it actually does because your ears are working so hard, and that's where ear fatigue comes from. That's how I understand it. And that's why you can sit and listen to high-level, high-quality, distortion-free music for a long period of time without any ear damage because your ears aren't working hard to try to translate it for you. There you go.
Distortion that you don't hear. A lot of air fatigue comes from that as well.
That's true too. Yeah, of course. But if you listen to moderate levels, basically distortion
You don't
free.
necessarily hear clipping what it is, but it is fatiguing your hearing.
Yeah. But if it's minimal, your brain doesn't do a lot. Your ears, I shouldn't say your brain. Your ears don't do a lot of work translating the information to you.
Wow.
It's just fascinating stuff.
I do have something else interesting I was working on, and I completely forgot about. Let's see, I got too many projects.
Oh, I made you lose your train of thought.
No, and we started talking about Dolby Vision and everything. So I recently dissected and took apart the Jellyfin client and made it process Dolby Vision 7 off of Blu-ray discs on TVs and devices that don't support Dolby Vision 7 by pulling out that layer and then recombining it as a single layer and then presenting it to the TV as DV 8.1. And it does it in real time.
And that's sort of like, for lack of a better term, dumbed down.
It is dumbed down, yes. You can't bring both layers. You can try to combine it.
So wait, without going to like a class and getting a whole education.
I feel dumbed down already.
No, I know. I am dumbed down. No,
I get really.
I'm already there.
When you say Dolby Vision 5, Dolby Vision 7, Dolby Vision 8.1, are you telling me all of those codecs or all of those whatever those are supposed to be called?
Yep.
They're all being sent at the same time, or is it one
No.
that gets translated the other way on the other end?
No, it's one or the other, and that's why when people have Blu-ray rips or 4K UHD rips, and they're playing it off their Plex, a lot of times they'll see that only come in as HDR, right? That'll be what shines up on the screen,
Mhm.
right? Like HDR, and that's because either one, your device doesn't support Dolby
Player,
Vision
yeah.
7,
Yeah.
or
Or your-
it doesn't detect that it supports it correctly. So all TVs, all Android boxes basically support Dolby Vision 8.1 because that's what Netflix uses. That's what Amazon uses.
all
So
of
if you
this-
have a way to convert that to 8.1, then force the TV to view it in that, or that format, then you get your Dolby Vision. Now, is there loss? Yes, there's loss. And
Sounds like we needed him around last week when we were trying to do this with the Arvolution, because we had that little stumbling block, and now, so what you're telling me is, now that I got Dolby Vision to work on Netflix with the Arvolution Player Pro 8K TV,
That's a mouthful.
it's doing Dolby Vision 8.1.
if you're doing it with Netflix, yes, it's
an Android TV. Okay.
Yep.
So not the best version of Dolby Vision that there is.
correct. You would
Because
need
that can only be on physical media, right?
5 and 7 are the two better.
And you can only get that on physical media? Is that a dumb question?
Not always. I mean, 5 has been streamed before.
Okay.
I think some of the challenge of like the whole like Dolby Vision, and from my understanding, is that each one of them is licensed separately to the
Wow.
manufacturers. And so if your device isn't licensed, that's why you can't get it, right? There's not a way for that I can, if there was a way I could just hack Android TV to play Dolby Vision Profile 7 without, ripping
So again,
that whole video stream apart and then recombining it back together, I would have went that route. But
So just to summarize that, you're saying the signal itself has 5, 7, 8, 1 all in it. No, it has its own.
There's a handshake
architecture.
with that EDID data.
And at the
Whenever you first turn it on, and it says, "Hey, I'm capable of this," and then your
Okay.
player says, "Okay,
I can do 7.
this
Okay,
is
fine.
capable of this," and then when you start playing,
right.
the
And when
media
you-
knows.
But then
when
you've
it's-
got
When
your
you start looking at
player,
different
and then you've got your
devices,
TV.
it gets
Aren't
more
those two?
complicated too, because sometimes the media players that are built into those devices,
Mhm.
they're media players. They're not going through the HDMI interface, so they don't always tell your streaming Plex and Jellyfin that it even is capable of. Like it doesn't. It's
That's why you have to
coded
do,
in wrong,
you have to
basically.
do your own personal EDID.
Well, the final
File.
veto though goes to the panel itself, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think in the signal chain it takes the lesser of all of them, right? Whatever. So you got your Blu-ray player, your TV.
If
your,
you have
Probably
multiple,
one,
if you have multiple displays or devices, yes, like playing out, it will. Like if this one's capable of something higher and you're outputting to 2, yes, then it will handshake to the lower one.
Mhm.
But
Fast.
then that's where you start getting into HDMI problems, because if this one's not capable of this lower one,
Mhm.
Thank you. I feel
then
like
you're like, oh, you don't
completed
have
a semester of school. This is great. I like this.
Yeah, and it was an interesting challenge. I ran into like weird use cases. Like you look at Samsung, they don't support Dolby Vision, right? So someone tried it on their device. They're like, oh, this is like my screen's black or my screen's blue now. It doesn't play anything. And so I had to rewrite it a little bit to do like another option in there where they can force it to be on and off kind of thing, right? And then when it's off,
Well,
it doesn't even, so some of the problems they would have with like their clients is that the clients would still try to play Dolby Vision or sometimes even HDR10 plus, and the device might not support that. And it would go blank the opposite way. It's actually trying to play the file.
right.
So I had to do like a lot of different, like they call it like fallback scenarios where you're doing a check for this, then a check for that.
tons of if thens. Yeah.
But do it in a way that it's transparent, so when someone hits play, it's now, right? People you don't want to wait 5 minutes for this thing to cycle.
Right.
For people to me, need it dumbed down.
Well, I mean, unless you
For
know,
people like me, I just buy Kaleidoscape and
So
let it
we
play.
were doing.
I have a Kaleidoscape store. So that is actually why I'm here in Orlando, because my client who bought this theater was originally like, no, I don't need it. I don't need it. I said, man, you need this. Trust me. So I was talking to Bill at Kaleidoscape, and I said, and he lives here in Orlando. He said, won't I just go there with one and show them so he can just understand why he needs it.
Understand it? Yeah.
And he went, so Bill went on Saturday, several weeks back, hooked it up to an available info we had in the rack and showed him, and he fell in love with it. He's like, "Oh, I want this." So he says, "I want." So he calls me with Bill. Bill's there in the theater with him, and they're showing him that concert video we were talking about last week with
Revolution.
That was it'll come to me. It was a concert video that did really good Dolby Atmos surround sound in.
Oh, Hans Zimmer.
Hans
Yeah,
Zimmer. And he said it was spectacular. So I came down here today, and it's actually the first thing I did this morning is I installed a Strato. We wanted to start small. We start with a Strato V, so I installed the Strato V in there, and he first movie he downloaded was The Showman. And he hadn't seen that movie.
There you go.
And he put that first scene on, where they're like stomping their feet on the thing. Oh my God, he had goosebumps. He said it's amazing. It's like it was a 9 day from the disc he has of the same movie. Because he hadn't watched the movie. I said he was going to watch on disc. He said, but the Kaleidoscape, way better. He really liked the way it looked and sounded, and I was told we need to do like an A/B comparison. I'd like to hear.
Is that a Dolby Vision movie also?
Yeah, they have it in Dolby Vision now, I believe.
I wonder if the.
Well, this is it's hooked up to a Sony projector, so obviously the projector's not shooting out in Dolby Vision; it's shooting out HDR10.
Okay.
But it looked phenomenal. It looked really good. So he's in love with his Kaleidoscape player. But then, interestingly enough, he was also showing me that one of the favorite things to do at the theater is listen to music, and he was listening to.
What's going on? You're finally done?
Atmos audio on Apple
He
Music.
doesn't know he's not muted.
I just muted him.
Okay. Go ahead. Which Apple?
So he played me, and I hadn't heard this well because I bought the Dark Side of the Moon SACD that was in 5.1 channel surround sound. And I've heard that plenty of times with surround sound. But I got to say, Apple Music in the theater, listening to that Dark Side of the Moon and Dolby Atmos was amazing. It sounds really good. And I'm like, this is streaming music of Dark Side of the Moon and Atmos, and it sounds incredible.
I know it's and.
I was
surprising. My friend called the other day and said, "Oh, Aerosmith's first album was released on Atmos." I go, "Yeah, it's streaming only," and then I put a hard copy up. And so she's like, "I really want to hear it. I remember the 8-track when I was a kid. I'd love to hear it in Atmos." And so I did this last Friday night, right before I think the next night after I saw you guys. So my friend Kimba, who's from the radio station down here, and anyway, so she comes over and she listens, and I was sitting in the rear of the room, and holy crap, this sounds good for a stream. I mean, it was very discreet. The guitar that was in the upper right hand corner was very discreet. It was there the whole time by itself, and I was like, it's really close. But scientifically, like I was saying, the numbers say that's probably like one. I mean, on paper it says it's 1/10 the resolution, but it sure does sound a lot closer.
It sounded great to me. Like I said, I've heard the SAC.
Like I have the disc of the Dark Side of the Moon, and I have listened to the stream on Apple Music and the disc. And, not A/B strict testing, but I have experienced them both. It's bigger. It's just bigger and wider, and I think more dynamic. I just think it has a little bit more dynamic range. But for streaming, it's amazing.
It was good, but I would say the Kaleidoscape on that, he's got a Sony VPL 6000. Looked great.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I think any player that you put on there will look on that projector will look good though. The 6000 is a good projector.
And it sounds good. So we're using the SDP58 processor, JBL processor.
That's the Trinoff version, right?
No, the
No,
70
that's the one. Yeah, that's the one down.
is a step down. Yeah, it's not the Tron. 75 and the 80. Well, the 80 now is the biggest kid on the block. But the 58 honestly sounds good. And then we've got it paired with the with the SMA 8300 amplifiers.
Okay.
For his, it's all synthesis, JBL synthesis in there, but it sounded great.
So before we go any further, let's say hello to our co-host. Ike's been patiently
Ike!
waiting over there. What's going on, Ike? How are you?
I'm enjoying it. I'm tired. So I just,
CZHT.
I'm tired. Nothing.
I'm probably gonna bail on you and let Ike take over from here for me.
No, please stay on, Bill.
No, yeah,
I'm
I
tired.
understand it. I'm right there with you, man.
I knew this was going to be a really long show whenever Don said, man, I'm really tired.
Well, yeah, I didn't know that
I'm like,
detail go after-
oh, we're in for a full length episode. when he
No,
said-
we're not. We really aren't. So
I
I
have a
was
really
going to say
early meeting
we're going to say hi
tomorrow.
to Ike before we end the show because I got to be at my office at 5. Well, you guys are welcome to stay.
Oh
but
shit, that's way.
I got to
early.
be at my office at 5:30. So
5:30. Oh my god.
which,
PM. I might
I'm
make it.
about a half hour away, so it means I need
Well, I
to
have
leave the house by
a big
5.
live music weekend coming up. I'm going to Miami Ultra on Saturday night.
Oh, there you go.
I think I'm going to be the oldest attendee.
You
It's a whole
probably will.
festival. My nephew is a pretty established EDM artist, and he's got a set.
You get a senior citizen discount.
Yeah, well, I got the passes from the nephew. I got, if I wasn't getting a pass and a lanyard, I wasn't going. But so my nephew hooked me up, and so that's Saturday night, and then Sunday night is Britt Floyd at the amphitheater at Meisner Park in Boca.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Rick
My
Floyd-
good buddy is the tour manager for them, so that's also a lanyard night, and
Nice.
I'll go backstage and hang out. Well, I'll probably watch the show from like the monitor mix, and then what I really like to do is go because he'll let me is go to the front of house and watch them do all their stuff. That's just as much of an entertaining concert to me as this watching the actual show.
My friend. Oh, I have a friend in Tallahassee that used to go around. I think he wound up touring with Tobacco Road and stuff like that as their audio engineer. So yeah, no, it's pretty cool.
No, it's fun. So that
I helped him build stages and stuff like that before, just for extra work and stuff. So it's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So Ike, before we go, did you have any movies that you were able to watch this week?
I bet he's gonna say no.
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 I knew it.
He's like, I'll save this shit for next week.
Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah. But I did get one that finally came in the mail, the 4K release of the.
Bridge
Oh,
too
I
far.
have a movie.
Yep, this is the 4K release that just came out. It's one
Okay.
of my best, World War II style movie,
Oh, cool.
Wow.
and they finally got a 4K version. So
Nice.
I will be, besides trying to keep the kids alive, I will be trying to watch that at some point this weekend. But yeah,
I gotta add
we can
Scottio
talk.
back in there. I didn't want him to get to hear for you guys to hear all his I love yous and everything.
Are we giving hugs right now?
You were giving hugs.
I do have a movie. I want to see if I'm going to get blasted for this one. I watched the Peaky Blinders movie
Oh,
that's out, and I lasted all of about 10 minutes before I was like falling asleep and said, "This is the most boring thing I've ever seen."
Really?
really?
Oh man.
Yes, it
I
was.
enjoyed the TV show version, so
Yeah, I did
I was
too.
looking forward to watching the movie.
I couldn't make it past 10 minutes. And I don't know, maybe it's because I'm not as into the thing that I should have been, but it was so slow. And it was just, maybe I needed to stick it out a little longer. So I'm sure I'll get.
Probably something happened. Probably 25 minutes in and changed the whole thing. You never know.
I was.
I don't know. I didn't see it. Did any
I
of you guys
switched
see? Any
I
of you?
switched in and watched Casino, which I love that. I can watch that movie.
Oh
every day.
man, that's great in 4K.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we ended up just me and the wife. We just watched that movie because you can't go wrong with that movie.
Did anybody
Yeah.
see any of Major League Baseball opening day today?
I saw the Mets and some and the Pirates.
Yeah, that's all I was. The Mets are off to a great start. That's all.
Pirates were getting their ass kicked. Yeah.
Yeah, they got a spanking. So baseball is back.
Yeah, no, I,
Thanks,
I
guys.
had the most awful. I'm not going to mention the name, but I had the most awful lunch experience I've ever had at a restaurant.
Oh,
It was so bad that I'm out of character to go up and complain to the manager, but I had to. You know, it was
Huh.
bad. It was really bad. And I
Oh,
got
no.
I actually they comp my meal for 3 of us, but I mean, I asked the server to give me the check because we had already been there for an hour and 40 minutes for lunch.
Wow.
Wow.
And I asked her to give me the check, and I was like, okay, you know, I got to go. Can you give me the check, please? And she went to a 10 top table, took all their orders. Then she went to another table and another table. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, you know, 20 minutes later, I finally just get up and I go to the kitchen. I'm like, can I talk to a manager or something? Because, you know, obviously I'm not here day drinking like everybody else. I need to go to work.
Right.
You know, so
Wow, good for you.
5 minutes for lunch. Yeah, that's way too much. Yeah.
yeah, it was
Maybe
bad.
that was a hint that you needed to start today.
Yeah, for sure. I needed to start day drinking. Exactly.
Yeah.
I did have 2. Me and the wife went to go get hibachi before the show. So
Oh, nice.
I did have 2 drafts before. I forgot what they call it. It was some Japanese beer on draft that they had. So it was those were pretty.
Kieran,
Yeah, actually, I think it was that. Yep,
that's good beer.
It's a good
Mhm.
beer.
It's like a light beer, right? Like a
Yeah, yeah, it's on a yellowish kind of
Yep.
label to it, I think.
yeah. So I had a couple of those with dinner. It was good. So,
Yeah, boys.
but yeah, no. Look, we're gonna probably go ahead and end the stream early today. If you guys do need a drive, you can reach out to scaudioav@gmail.com. So we put it in the chat here. If you guys need a drive.
Definitely let me know. You know, like I said, I'm trying to keep the prices as low as I can.
Yeah, I
so.
think you'll be hearing from me. I think I need to.
That's very nice. Got
I
it.
think I need to stockpile of 3 or 4 of them. So we'll see what happens.
Let me know. I've got 43 of them right now. So.
Oh wow! Oh good. Okay. So if I
and,
wait,
and also,
They go
know,
quick.
They go
So
quick, like turning at least at a minimum 10 a day. So.
yeah. Okay.
yeah, don't be like Don and
I got a
say,
few customers I got to call and see if they need them, and then whatever. I won't try to make any money on them. I'll cut them deals too. You know.
yeah. No, I mean, look, I bought 2 drives and they already went down, so I'm aggravated with this whole process.
All right, Don.
right
We'll
now.
set up your visit for the AV community.
Yeah, we'll do that. It'll probably be like my wife's got to work next week. She's admitting and stuff like that, so it probably won't be next week, but maybe the week
because
after.
you'll be the babysitter for the week. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be on daddy duty. So,
All right.
but yeah, we'll get it set up for sure. Listen, we definitely need guests for the show, guys.
Right.
I went on Facebook, right? I went on Facebook for I'm talking about for theater tours. I went on Facebook the past couple of days, and there hadn't been much, you know, new posts or anything like that. I don't know if it's because of spring break everywhere or what's going on, but haven't been able to drum up any guests. So I know there's plenty of you guys out there that are watching the show that maybe you don't want to be on the show, but if you want to send us pictures, you can send us pictures to Home Theater Hub Live with a list of everything that you got going on. We can walk through it. If you don't want to be on camera and maybe just do audio, we can
point your phone at all your gear and show us.
Yeah, exactly. You can we won't show you. You know, we can work this out a lot of different ways. So, yeah, please just send us an email if you got upgrades. If you've been on the show and you've done some upgrades to your theater, you know, reach out to us if you'd like to be a guest on the show at hometheaterhublive@gmail.com. Please do all that fun stuff, like, share, subscribe to all of our channels. I know we got Bill on here also. You know, we got Scadio. We got a whole bunch of YouTubers on here now. So everybody's got a channel that's on here. So make sure you look for all the channels from us, like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. And until next time, lights down, sound up.
Abe, Ike, Paul, Don, see you guys.
And don't blame us for your next upgrade.
Don't do that.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.